After fishing for hours across the river, Atta threw out his fishing net one final time. But this catch was different. When he pulled, the net shone with light, not fish. Inside was a tiny creature, glowing like the moon in water. Her skin shimmered pale silver, her eyes round like cowrie shells, and her tail sparkled like bronze. In her trembling hands, she held a red apple. The villagers screamed, "Mommy, water," and ran for their lives. But Atta stayed frozen, staring in wonder. For a fisherman who had only ever caught hunger, this felt like a miracle. "The river has finally paid me," he whispered. He wrapped the little mermaid in his cloth and took her home. That night, lightning flashed across the sky as his wife, Lina, saw what he had done. "You brought a spirit into this house," she cried. But Atta's eyes glittered with greed. "She's the river's gold. We'll be rich." Fear and desire burned between them like dry firewood. Far away beneath the waves, a mother's heart broke. In the coral palaces deep below, Oluno, princess of the merfolk, felt her daughter's heartbeat fade. The sea whispered, "Taken. Taken by men." She swam to Queen Atlantia, the ruler of the ocean. "My child has been stolen," Oluno wept. The queen's voice rumbled like thunder underwater. "Humans do not take what belongs to the sea without paying the tide." Oluno begged, "Let me go to the earth." Atlantia warned her. "To walk on land, you must trade your tail for legs and your breath for pain. You will belong to neither sea nor sky." Oluno bowed her head. "Then I will suffer. But I will bring my daughter home." The queen raised her trident. Light swirled through shells and seaweed. The ocean screamed, and Oluno became a woman. Days passed. In Atta's heart, the little mermaid, merrily, wept softly. Only one person came to her, Atta's daughter, Annabelle. Annabelle brought her bread and mango, whispering, "Don't cry. I'm your friend." Merrily looked scared, but reached for her hand. From that moment, something magical bloomed, the beginning of friendship. Annabelle taught her songs from the village, Merrily taught her river songs that made palm trees dance. But Lina's fear grew. "She'll bring trouble," she warned Arthur. Arthur only said, "She'll bring me fame." That night, the river rose without rain. And from the mist, a tall woman walked barefoot through the village, her hair dripping water, her eyes glowing like storms. She called herself Amina. But the river knew her true name, Oluno. When Oluno saw Merrily, weak and pale, her heart cracked. She whispered to Arthur, "The river will not forgive this." Arthur shivered, though the air was warm. Then came Dr. Martin, a scientist from the city. He promised safety, fame, and fortune. Arthur signed the paper, and lost his soul. By dawn, Merrily was gone. Annabelle cried until her voice broke. Arthur stood silent, drowning in guilt. That night, Oluno knelt by the river and called softly, "Daughter, hold on. I am coming." In a cold laboratory, Merrily sat under bright lights. Dr. Martin studied her like a treasure, cutting, testing, recording. But her song would not die. Even the water in the tanks began to hum. She was calling her mother. And the sea answered. A storm rose like a beast. When Amina reached Arthur's hut, the door creaked open beneath her touch. The room was empty, no sound, no breath, no light. Her heart raced. She could feel her daughter's scent lingering in the air, faint but fading. "Merrily," she whispered, tears rolling down her glowing cheeks. Just then, Arthur walked in from the backyard. When he saw Amina standing there, soaked in moonlight, his legs trembled. "Who are you?" he stammered. Amina turned slowly. "Where is my daughter?" Her voice was calm, but it carried the sound of thunder. Arthur froze. The word daughter pierced his chest like truth. He knew then, this was the mermaid's mother. Fear seized him. He turned to run. But before his foot touched the door, Amina's eyes turned bright white, glowing like twin suns. The air around her shimmered. Atta gasped as invisible waves lifted him off the ground. He clutched his throat, choking, twisting, his face red with terror. "You took what was mine," Amina said softly, her voice echoing like deep water. "You stole my child." Atta's eyes rolled back as he struggled to breathe. At that moment, Lina and Annabel ran in.